Hey everyone, today I want to answer a question that I get all the time, which is film school worth it? And should film school be utilized to get to the ultimate goal, which would be to become a professional writer? And so a little bit about me and my story. I went to film school, but I did not finish it. I did finish college. I ended up switching out of film school and getting essentially a useless degree so that I could finish quickly and leave. So I'm not fully a film school dropout, but I'm a film school leaver for another major, I guess. But I think I think this is the wrong question, essentially, because, so here's the goal, right? And then the idea is that there are these two paths. There's the film school path to the goal, and there's the no film school path to the goal. And we have seen over time with writers and directors and these different people that both of these paths have worked, right? That for different reasons, they get to where they're going down here, and both of these paths have worked. But at the same time, there's also a lot of people that some of them have gone to film school, some of them have not, and neither of these paths work for them. So they don't end up getting here. And that's actually most people. So what really is the determining factor? So I think that people have it wrong when they're focused on film school being this major determining factor in their success as a professional writer. So what really is the case is there's a lot of things in the middle between your educational system and your goal, right? This is like the people that you're around, your circle of friends. This is your mentors. This is access to different information and access to information, but also access to people in the industry. Okay, there's all these sort of different determining factors that sit between this and this. And so people say, oh, well, it's film school plus knowing somebody in the industry, or it's film school plus knowing that these types of screenplays were going to be popular, and so people wrote this and they were able to get in. Or people say it's luck, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. But I believe that the number one biggest determining factor for how people get from over here to over here is their ability to consistently work hard and their ability to seek out information and to apply that information on their own. So this is very important. This may sound cliche, but I want to explain what I mean and how it is so important and how it applies here. Because what happens at film school is people expect to enter film school and then they have a professor or a group of professors or whatever handhold them to becoming a professional writer. As if only the information at this film school plus the professor's mentorship is going to equal becoming a professional writer. But if this were the case, then every person who went to, say, a top 10 film school would become a professional writer and make $60 million off of blockbuster movies. But that doesn't happen. And a lot of times, especially in these top schools, professors have connections to people in the industry. So they can get people PA jobs or writer's assistant jobs or these different entrances into working in the industry to create their own connections and eventually become a professional writer. But then still, students don't become a professional writer. And then you have people out here who were born in the middle of nowhere, who had no connections, who knew nobody, who had no money, and then they still actually ended up here. And sure, some of that may be luck, but I think a lot of that comes down to their ability to consistently work and seek out information when it wasn't given to them. Because the problem with waiting for other people to give you the information is that there's hundreds of thousands of people who are also waiting for someone else to give them the information. And so when you're waiting for somebody else for permission to give you information, to give you exact criticism on what you're doing, then you are placing yourself into a massive pool of people who are doing the exact same thing. There's no differentiation between you and hundreds of thousands of people who are fighting over the same goals. So, it's not about whether or not you go to film school. It's not about whether or not you don't go to film school. It's about cultivating a mindset where you can learn when nobody's pushing you, where you can be honest with yourself about critiquing your work and finding the mistakes inside of it, and when you can work hard when nobody's pushing you, and when you can work consistently over a long period of time. That's how you get here. And so asking, what film school should I go to, or is film school worth it at all? This is not the right question. Absolutely, there are great elements about going to film school. There are great things you can learn. You can make great relationships with professors who can really increase your knowledge base on writing. There are ways that you can connect to people who are working in the industry. There are all kinds of pros to going to film school. And then there are also all kinds of pros to not going to film school. You don't go tens of thousands of dollars into debt. You can work at your own pace. Nobody is forcing you to go to different classes or exams or things that you know aren't the core of what you want to do and aren't going to help you in the long run. You can set your own time, your own pace, and your own schedule. So there are benefits to both. And I don't think if you do one, then that is the absolute way to do it, or you do the other, then that is the absolute way to do it. But I think what is the absolute way to do it, either way, is building work ethic, consistently working, being honest with yourself about where your talent level is, being honest with yourself about where your mistakes are, continuing to fix those mistakes. That transcends both of these. That is the most important part. And that's going to separate you from everybody else who's asking, is film school worth it? Can this one professor make me $60 million in Hollywood? And so that's just what I wanted to talk about today. I know a lot of people ask me this. I get a lot of DMs and messages and emails about whether or not film school is worth it. And so, in conclusion, if you want to go to film school, go to film school. If you don't want to go to film school and you really think you can do this on your own, don't go to film school. Then it's all about your ability to put in the work for yourself. That's it. It's what it comes down to. I hope this was helpful for you. If you want to check out more of my stuff, I actually have a course where I talk to you about how to actually create consistency and habits and a work ethic for your writing over a long period of time. And so if that's something you're interested in, there's a link for that in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.